Hey everyone, welcome to Zoho SalesIQ's Actionable Marketing Series. This is Jagadish Jayachandran, a product marketer at SalesIQ. Irrespective of the type of business you are, the domain you cater to, or the size of your business, customer retention is crucial for everyone. Not just because it is directly associated with the revenue. There is more, a lot more. Today we'll be discussing exactly that: customer retention strategies and churn management. This is not going to be a theoretical session. We'll discuss what works and what doesn't from the same people who plan and execute retention strategies for their products. To do that, we have an exciting mix with us today. People from different products that caters to different domains, audiences, and sizes. A multi-product bundle, a low-coding application, a CRM, and one customer experience platform. They'll be discussing the questions from their domain's perspective. The idea is to bring different and unique point of view to the roundtable so that each and every one of the viewers will be able to relate and learn actionable insights to implement. With great pleasure and privilege, let me introduce Sangeeta Nath, Marketing Manager, Zoho One. Surekha Jagadish, Marketing Manager, Zoho Creator. Elsi Gnanaraj, Manager, User at Zoho SalesIQ. And Yatheesh Raj, Marketing Manager, Zoho Bigin. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. So, because we have people from different products that caters to different domain, we wanted to start with a general question. At this point, it's a cliche question, I understand, but wanted to ask anyway. So, can we go back in time? The last 3 years, we've encountered 3 different business landscapes: pre-pandemic, pandemic, and post-pandemic. So in such differing landscapes, the expectations that customers expect from businesses have definitely changed to a greater extent. So has this affected your retention strategies? If yes, how? Can you start, Sangeeta?
Okay, for sure. So since you posed the question as a three-part: pre-pandemic, during pandemic, and post-pandemic, let me treat the answer this in a similar way. So before the pandemic, if you'd see, definitely brick and mortar stores were doing very well because, of course, there is nothing better than face-to-face interaction. So the value showcase that we had to show to sell our product or to keep the customers was only limited to this product is value for money. That explanation was enough that we are spending money for something that we'll use, and that's good for us. Then the pandemic hit and brick and mortar stores saw a huge hit, of course, and everything started to become digital and remote. And once that happened, a lot of people had to suddenly figure out how to do technology. And then our selling point, or in order to keep the customers who were even there, or even when the new customers were coming, we did see a lot of influx of new customers. But the pitch then was not just limited to this is the value of the product. We had to also tell them that ease of access, you will have a more return on investment with less investment, not just of money but time and energy. And then post pandemic, if you notice, the people who started adopting digital products during pandemic were the ones who actually still stayed with you because they are the ones who took the plunge. Now, when they took the plunge, there is a trust factor with the brand, not just the product, with the brand itself. And then post-pandemic, the strategy to retain customers became how much more easier can we make life for you and for your business. Although they did start up their brick and mortar stores, their remote websites were also in full swing. So these are the 3 kind of phased approach that we saw when we took steps for retaining our customers.
I mean, more from a business perspective, right? Putting empathy at what are the you do at the heart of your business mattered more during COVID, right? Because even at Zoho, we are giving free credits to ensure businesses continue using their products, even though they've been affected because of the downturn and all those things. And now after the COVID, we have to make some adjustments to even to our retention policy, right? Take an example. The cancellation reasons that customers gave before pandemic and now, right? Now, because of the overall macroeconomic situation and all those things, Unfortunately, a lot of businesses are closing down, downsizing their overall business. Now, somebody might not need all of our offerings; they might need just one or two, for example, right? So it's essential for us to capture what reasons they give, and also systematically understand their usage pattern, for example, right? Are we adding value to their because today's customers have a lot of choices, because we've been saying this every day, day in and day out. But it's important as a business, to put that value out. I think Sangeeta mentioned the same thing as well. To put that value, convince them to stick with you for a longer time. So make some adjustments to your retention policy. That's very important for any business, and we've been seeing that as well, to capture those right metrics and all those things. So definitely post pandemic things have changed. Everyone is now financially disciplined, the choices that they make and everything. So definitely it has an impact on what you offer to the customers as well.
Yes, Surekha.
So specifically with retention, that what you had asked about. So pre-pandemic, at Zoho Creator, our push was mostly on how we are, as a low-code platform, helping businesses do it easier. And traditionally, we have our support system, our chat, our emails to proactively help the customers. But when pandemic hit, we figured out that a lot of businesses had to keep running, irrespective of the lockdown that were happening across the globe. Businesses had to run. I mean, you had to make money, and Creator was at a good juncture at that point of time to push custom ERPs or running businesses on the cloud. So a lot of small businesses and medium businesses, came to Creator to build their businesses online on the cloud, which was not there before the pandemic hit. And during pandemic too, because a lot of people have to get a know-how of the product, being a low-code development platform, we had seen a uptick in the support channels raised, in premium support. We provide premium support, enterprise support, and all this has helped us fine-tune how we react with our customers. So during the pandemic, we had a customer awards program, so wherein we invited nominations from our customers to showcase their business and how they use Creator. And it has helped, and we are running the Creator Awards program for 4+ years now. This has helped bring out the evangelist that Creator has, which we would not have probably done, the pre-pandemic. So the pandemic really helped us figure out who the evangelists were and who were really happy with our product. Post-pandemic, yes, this has continued, and I'm happy to say that nearly 12,000 plus users or customers have given us an 8+ rating in our support system, and 24%. We have seen a 24% increase in the number of chats handled. So these are the yardstick that we say, are we doing a right job in retention? And more than a strategy, it is not a strategy for us. It is the customer goodwill that you earn. Well, it does help in the revenue. It's the goodwill that you earn, and it's priceless.
So everyone discussed about the expectation in terms of COVID. So let me take a different perspective. Let's discuss generative AI. So post-pandemic, there is a clear shift in the customer behavior. Like customer want everything to be swift. After the OpenAI launch, the customers started to think like everything should be instant and everything should be handled via support. So we have a practical challenge to handle this online. So let's take an example, and to handle this challenge and changing landscape, we definitely have to focus on the customer experience. So in SalesIQ, the product that I manage, we actually help the customer to experience, to stay unique and face the experience, whether it is a visitor or a customer. We help them to handle it in the same way, like irrespective of the funnel um, where they are in the funnel, like sales or marketing or support. We handle them in a unique way. So what we had before is just a strong support system and we had a strong support system, and we also had a self-service model. So on top of the self-service and the strong support system, now we have added open AI as a strong system, and which can in turn help them to have a strong support system for their customers. So not just that, customers are started to expect us to stay in the channel where they use on a daily basis, like Facebook or WhatsApp. They don't want to come to a website for support. They want us to stay in their channel. They use it on a daily basis. So yes, we also have shifted our retention strategy from reactive to proactive this year, and definitely yes, we are. The customer expectations are definitely changing, and also we are adapting to it.
So the retention strategies have obviously changed. Before we move on to how it has changed, let me ask, why does retention matter? If I say most of the customers will not be stay with your product for a long time or a lifetime, that would be wrong, because I've seen people who have been with us since the inception of our product, close to a decade. So let me rephrase that by saying the majority of the customers won't be with you for a long time or a lifetime. Like Thanos, churn is inevitable. So you'd have two kinds of customers: the delvers and the flyers. So those who come and stay with you for some time and those who leave. So if you are attracting more flyers, it wouldn't be helpful for your business in terms of revenue for the long term. The more they stay, it increases your revenue, and it because of your retention strategies. So retention has obviously a direct link with the revenue. So what are the other significance?
So there are two reasons or the two facets of seeing this. One, the external fact, that is what the customer facing, and more of internal. Right? I'll first talk about the internal thing. The mindset matters. So as marketers, one of the first lessons that we learn is revenue matters, right? And when we say revenue, it's mostly we are so concerned about new revenue, right? That is sign-ups, customers, conversion, and everything. But what matters to a business is the net revenue. Right? And when we say net revenue, it's obviously how many people stay with you for a long time. What is their contribution? Do they get more from you, like upsell, cross-sell, and all those things? So as a marketer, you have to work with different teams, right? From the product to the customer success team, understanding what really goes behind the scenes, because you are more focused on lead generation, for example, but you don't know what customers face on a day-to-day basis. So the mindset, at least from a marketing department, that net revenue matters, right? So you have to be more responsible in understanding that, implementing the approaches that will help in getting more from your existing customers. And second thing is more external, right? Why retention matters. Obviously, there is one metric that no one can measure. Again, it's a cliche thing to say, but word of mouth, right? Leave your product aside for a time being. So think of the last purchase you made, right? Was it only purely due to an academic research, or was it also some colleague of you suggesting, hey, this product is good, or hey, this is bad, don't even get there, right? So word of mouth plays a huge part in purchase decisions. So you have to ensure that you have to treat your customers well, so that they go and tell this to their fellow business owners. And most importantly, like, think of business owners, their scenarios. So they depend on, let's say I want to purchase a CRM software. You definitely have to go and ask a fellow business owner, how has it been working for you? Is it good? Is it bad? Is this customer support good? And all those things, right? So this cannot be measured. You will get it. It's like a flywheel, as they say, right? So the existing customers refer someone, they sign up, and they stay with their product for a long time. So one, the internal mindset that we should have, in working with all teams that work on churn, retention, everything, and more towards creating value ultimately when customers, so that they stay with you for a long time and create more referrals and word of mouth.
Lovely. Yes, sir.
So there are two things that I look at. One is when you talk about numbers, we look at what is the lifetime value of that particular customer. That is what revenue he can give us, but also what is he taking away from us. So I believe like over the past year that I've run customer experience, I believe it is about him listening to us and us listening to what they have to say. A lot of times, customers just want to be heard. And it is also on how we answer their queries or answer their support, provide them support. So, for example, if there are a lot of things that our products cannot do and our product can do, but how do we put that across to the customer so that he understands, that we are going the distance to understand his pain points. So I think that is something which really helps in a retention strategy. The other thing is having these customers as champions or evangelists for us. So by evangelism, it is not just them having a goodwill about, oh wait, Zoho helps me in a lot of ways in my customer support, or it helps me build my product from scratch. It is also on, I can go talk about Zoho anywhere, and I will champion Zoho's cause to my friends, to my business partners, to my networking peers. So at the end, the retention boils down to, can this customer or are our customers be evangelists for us? So I think that is what we'll have to actually look at. Not just the numbers, but can they champion us? And also, are we listening to them? Are we being proactively listening to them and ensuring them that we have their backs?
Okay, you talked about revenue, and definitely yes, the customer retention can actually give us monetary benefits. But what matters? Like monetary benefits can be from new customers too. But what matters? As Yatheesh and Surekha said, like the customer loyalty and customer satisfaction can actually give us a lot more benefit than the uh, new customers. Like the word of mouth or the customer loyalty can actually pay us a silent revenue. Like we don't have to go and ask them for feedback. If we have a good product and if he likes the product, if the customer is very much satisfied with the product, then he is going to become your advocate. Like he is going to go recommend it to his friends, or if a friend of his is in need of a software, then he is going to recommend your software to him instantly. And not just that, um, in customer retention, more than the customer satisfaction, we should focus on the retention, because um, acquiring new customer is actually higher and pricey than retaining the old customers. Like we should focus on the money values also. So yes, acquiring customers is a bit pricey. We have to put in a lot of efforts in marketing to pull in leads, and we have to uh, pull the leads to customer. Sales team has to put in a lot of efforts. So to avoid all these efforts, we have to focus more on retention, not just with the monetary value, but to generate silent revenue for our product.
So I do have a few common points probably to what they have said, but I'll start with you mentioned delvers and flyers, right? So absolutely, you already said that the delvers who have been there with our products are the champions, the evangelists of our products. They trust not just the brand but the people, and they are so impressed because probably we were able to help them and they felt heard. But I think we kind of oversee the flyers. I do understand they can come and go. Probably they renewed their license just for a year, or they've been with us 2 years, and for whatever reason they have cancelled out or not renewed. As a marketer, I really focus a lot on continuous learning, and I feel the learning comes from the flyers. You will sitting behind a desk with our laptops, most of us cannot imagine the everyday problems the businesses out there are facing in real time. We can make a lot of DIY videos. Our product can do everything they need it to do, but if they cannot figure it out and we are not able to show them how to do it, it's pointless. So the flyers, I've noticed in our team, we've been past 3 years we've been doing this practice. We go read up the support tickets, especially of the people who have been with us just for a year. Okay, and they have phenomenal cancellation reasons that we might not even have thought of, and that has kind of led our PM team to not just fix the bugs that were probably present for a few years and no one brought it to light, or at least build that functionality which was right there in front of us but we never thought of it. So I think the importance to flyers can be a little more, at least in my eyes, because there's a learning that comes to it. Apart from that, definitely for retention, the CLTV, I think she mentioned it, customer lifetime value, what the long time customers in the long run bring value to your business in terms of revenue. Then definitely evangelism, and I think the people who stay the longest with your product are the ones who will soon upgrade to premium services of your product, because it's after a point of time, if we've done our jobs well, sitting here, if we've done our jobs well, after a point of time, it's not about whether the support ticket was handled or not. It's about whether they felt heard, just like she mentioned. And yeah, I think I'll close my statement with that. Thank
So
you.
I've got an important, takeaway from Sangeeta's, points, because yes, since this is a marketing focused talk, I think every marketer should read the support tickets. It's not just a product team's responsibility to
I agree.
understand customer requirements, because you, no matter what, there are, yes, like Sangeeta mentioned, you're sitting, with a laptop, that's just your world. But
Yeah.
for a customer, their real time scenarios, day in and day out, what challenges they face, and where is your product lagging, for example, right? So all these are important for you. Even when you are communicating the value to new users, you can highlight the exact points, right? So talk about workflows, automation, for example. Where exactly can workflows help? Even your communication will improve as a marketer when you read more customer tickets, understand what they say. Basically, you give more context to what problems that they have. So I think it's a very important point that you mentioned. Yeah.
Actually, we've been doing this for the past 2 years
Yeah.
also. Just wanted to say.
I think it's a very healthy practice for any marketer to do. We get to really see what the problems are out there, not just theoretically.
At the beginning, we started handling support tickets on our own.
Yeah.
So it was like a test by fire.
Yeah.
So we handled support tickets, and then we figured out, okay, what do you have to tell to a customer so that he understands what is possible and what is not possible. And that, I think, as marketers, it really helped us understand the ground realities of what they were facing.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. So far we discussed the general questions. Now on to the specifics. So we've come to the end of the year. When the year started, what were your retention strategies for 2023 for your domain, and what worked and what didn't, and what were the tools that helped you, implement those strategies? Yes.
So let's look at prospects first. So while we were discussing about how to understand what they are using, so we rolled out a survey called a UX research survey, which is nothing but understanding the user experience of a particular customer with your product. So what are the features that he likes? Why doesn't he like them? What are the features that he feels adds value to his business? And what are those that just goes over his head? So all these helps us understand what pain points the end user is actually facing with our product. And of course, we share those insights with our product team so that they get the real-time knowledge of what we can do and what we should be focusing on. A lot of times, what happens is we think, okay, this is the problem statement that my customer is facing. But when you actually look at the insights or his voice, you'll realize that what you are thinking is completely different from actually what he's facing. So a UX research survey helps understand what exactly they like about the product and what they don't like about the product. And this is purely on the product itself. The other one is, like I said, we have a Creator Customer Awards wherein we identify evangelists who talk about us. We give them an award. We invite them to events like our Zoholics to talk about us and take the story forward. The other one we have is called a Creator Loyalty Program. So the ask of this program is similar to our Creator Awards. We identify evangelists, but also those who require additional support to use our product. So our product is it does need a little bit of technical expertise. So there are those who do not have technical expertise, but it depends on their use case. So if somebody wants to build a custom ERP, you definitely need a technical expertise. So there are such customers who need to be handheld. So for them, we have this create a loyalty program. As a retention strategy, it has helped. Why? Because we identified certain customers with pain points, and we gave them free business certificates, free training certificates. We gave them development hours free, which mean that we will develop their application on our own free time. So which really helped understand that we are taking them seriously. At the end, all of these the loyalty program or the awards is to ensure that is to give them that sense that we take you seriously and we listen to you. So this was that. And at the end, there are customers who will still leave you, irrespective of how much you have lended your hand. Mostly, it could be because they have shifted their organizations, or probably their organization they have left the organization, or in times of smaller businesses or medium businesses, they're probably not even running anymore. So in those cases, we still have a churn survey, which means when they downgrade to your a free plan or when they leave our product, we have a churn survey wherein we ask them like, what is it that we can do, and all this goes to our account management team, product team, and of course marketing to ensure what are the reasons that they actually leave our product for. Is it just is it the price? A lot of times it will not even be the price. It will be like I'm closing down my business and I don't need a software anymore. So those are the insights that we get with all these tools that we use.
Okay, as I said earlier, like we shifted our focus from reactive to proactive this year. So yes, we are focusing on the existing customers as well as the churn. So first thing we started off this year is making some changes to the feedback cancellation form. So we made some changes to learn why the customers are leaving us, and we are not just getting the feedbacks and leaving it like that. We actually tend to forward it to the specific team or the specific department to get that added to the product or to fix the issue. So that is one thing we did this year. And secondly, we also focused on the product onboarding. Like when a customer sign up for a product, so we actually have a person who can onboard him smoothly to learn more about the product or what essential things he is needed while he sign up for a product. So that is one thing we did. And third, like we also did some customer education programs. Like we went to their place and met the customers. Like we experimented that in India and US this year, and we went to their place and we collected feedbacks and we get to know a lot about our product personally. Like what is the customers experiencing with the product? Is it really helpful for their business? Are they really into a product, or are they using it effectively? We learned everything from that perspective, so that actually helped us a lot. And finally, we're also working on the product onboarding things. Like we heard some feedbacks from the customers, like there can be an improvement in the product onboarding, and we have taken that seriously, and we are also working on the product onboarding aspects. So yes.
Yes.
Allow me to share a bit of a different perspective because, as you know, Zoho One is a very broad product. So, for us, the most challenging part is to first figure out why something is not working because there are way too many entry points and exit points, as a matter of fact. So, I won't delve too much into that, but mostly a lot of outbound stuff works for us. So just common ones, workshops, that workshops are mostly treated as like one-on-one classes, like 15 to 10 to 15 people come. It's like a tight group of people, and we take them through a process of how the admin panel needs to be set up, what are the roles and responsibilities, the way you can do, and all that. So workshops, there are trainings and certifications that our customers and partners take up. Then there are CSAT and NPS surveys that we do regularly and make sure that the response goes to all relevant teams, like she was mentioning. One thing that we are doing a bit differently for the past, I think successfully doing it for the past 2 years. We started it 3 years ago, but we've started seeing changes in the past 2 years. We have set up a customer advisory board and a global partner advisory council. Now, what do they do? Since we don't really get singular answers from our customers or users of Zoho One, we need to focus on regional markets. Now, because it's a suite of products, different regions work or respond differently to the product. A developed country is much more open to a bigger suite of product. A developing country at the same time, they tend to say, I do not need 45. Can you cherry pick 5 for me and charge me accordingly? So these are some things we figured out. So what does the customer advisory board and the global partner advisory council, what do they do is, it's like think of it like a focus group of customers and partners globally. So we cherry pick them and they change probably every year or every 6 to 8 months. And we meet them every quarter. And what they do is they tell us specific to their region. The customers tell us more about what can be better in the product. Where are they facing problems? The bigger accounts tell us that, listen, this was very difficult. There was a set of migration we were wanting to do and this didn't go our way. But the partners come up with a very bird's eye view because they are almost running their businesses on Zoho One sometimes. And since they are selling and using it themselves, what happens is they give us a perspective of how the product can become more sellable and stickable. So they give us what are the regional integrations that are in the market relevant. Like in New Zealand, what integration can be relevant to? So we get that from the New Zealand partners, from Australia. So this, and then we make sure our PM team is actually involved in these two programs so that they can then pick what can be done right away and what can be put in the back burner for further processes. So this is how we are right now going about it.
Yeah, I mean, all the important points have been covered. So this year, okay, retention, churn is a team sport, like I've mentioned before. So it involves everybody's contribution, not just the marketing team here, mainly the customer success team. But one reality that we have accepted is, but actively working towards it is we cater to micro and small businesses, right? So churn is inevitable. Like I mentioned before, businesses close down due to a variety of factors. Yes, suddenly they might think that, I don't need this product anymore because I'm going through a tough time, myself in this business. Or, for example, yes, downsizing, right? For example, customer service tool is still important to a business, but probably not a marketing tool at this point because they are more focused on retaining the customers, serving them well and all those things. So in these scenarios, so what we have decided is focus on the small stuff that matters, the stuff that we often ignore, for example. And especially as a business, if you're selling globally, there are a lot of challenges that come with it. For example, even take a small example of, yes, you are sitting, let's say, Zoho, we are based out of India and multiple other countries. We have this transnational localism, right? So let's say we encounter some, issues from a customer. Now, can we loop in with the respective regional teams, for example? Let them take care of it. Or let's say if you're selling from India, for example, do you have the right phone numbers to reach out to the respective countries? So let's say you have a customer coming in from Kenya, are you using the Kenya number to call the customer? See, these are very small things, but it matters to a customer. So at the end of the day, it boils down to, to you as a person. Put yourself in the shoes of a customer. Will you pick a call, if the phone number is coming from a different country? Right? It goes same for sign-ups as well, customer retention as well. So focusing on the small stuff that matters, like early this year, we put a live chat in our cancellation page. Right? It's a very good thing because yes, they have decided to cancel, but at least can we do some meaningful engagement there? Can we retain them by giving some solutions when they are canceling? So a lot of small stuff that we often ignore as marketers, so we are focusing on those things apart from what you have all mentioned. So this year it's been going good. Like, we've been able to identify a lot of common factors that lead to churn, retention, being more proactive, like Elsi mentioned, right? Because it's not just we look at churn as the end result, but what happens before that? Why are they not using the product? So we are focusing on that onboarding and everything. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's a combination of a lot of things, and most importantly, the small stuff that you often tend to ignore.
Yeah. Thank you. Hope the live chat is Sales IQ.
Yes.
Okay. Because I'm going to discuss with you later about how that page is performing to add it to our case study we are doing.
Definitely.
The third question is the reason why we wanted to have this discussion, because you all are from different products and different domains, and I think we were able to bring a different and unique perspective from each of the domain. I really loved how you answered this question, and we have to now talk about metrics. We marketers love talk about metrics. It's not just vanity. Metrics is a litmus test to know if the direction we are going is right or not. So while you are implementing these retention strategies, what were the metrics you are focused on? Yes.
I mean, yeah, as at customer experience, we do have a look at numbers, which I think our account management team and our customer success team have been very crucial in ensuring that we stick to numbers and grow it year on year. But apart from that, there's a lot of other things that you really can't put a number on it. So, like I said, the lifetime value. Of course, we would have to ensure that it does increase and the customer stays with us longer. But it's also on what is the goodwill that we earn from the customer, and these are certain metrics which are not considered as metrics, but they really play a huge role in your retention strategy and your branding strategy as well. Because if a customer wants to evangelize your product, he is going to be the face of your brand out there, and you really can't put a value on it. You ensure that you keep him happy, and you ensure that in case there are any things that he needs, you are proactively reaching out and helping him out. The other thing that we did was to figure out within the product what are the key features that a user is not using, which means that we had within our product, we could figure out, okay, this user has not been using the product for the last say 2 or 3 days, which is like an alarm for you. So this guy might actually churn. So what can we do? Have a live chat over there within the product, so that in case he does come back, we ask him like, hey, have you been missing? Or we send out mails to these users who are not active on the product, and we reach out to them and ask them like, is there something else that we can help you out with? And that has really helped us. Those who write back to us telling us that, hey, I needed this help, and I've been held up with something else. Because let's face it, at the end, our product helps them in their bread and butter, but we are not their bread and butter. So once you have that clarity that you're not your customer's priority, he has a business to run, but hey, you have to be there to help him run that business. I think it all falls.
Could I just add to
Yeah,
what
sure.
she was saying? Now, you might want to chuck me out of the line of marketers because I'm not a fan of metrics. But having said that, I feel it's just one parameter that a marketer kind of needs to look at it. Come on, it's 2023, almost 2024, and it's a new age. Digital age also is now old. It's the age of AI, right? We can't just look at numbers. There is so much more at play at how customers or why customers churn out or why they stay. While you are making a sale, you might not ever figure out that will this person, you might feel he'll stay for a while, but that's not the case at all. So I think as a marketer, at every turn, I have learned to understand that it's a totally blind turn. That's one thing. Having put that aside, yes, the trust on a brand is another metric apart from we do the normal ones, the net promoter score, how likely they are to talk about your product or refer your product to someone. You do a CSAT survey, a customer satisfaction survey, about how satisfied they are with their product or not. Then very generically, our account management team takes a look at the repeat purchasing power, which I feel is it's a very vague metric. We do look at it to learn or gain some insights, but I feel the only way you can learn about why they are churning out or what can you do about it is by talking to them. So metric wise, I mean, that's all I think I have. It's a little different in a suite of a product because it's very hard for us to catch them before they are churning. It You have to take a look at 50 products, and we do have teams for that, but it happens for us, it happens post the churn, sadly. But we are trying to improve that process more every day, working directly with our PM team and account management teams. But metric wise, I think these 2 3 things are what we look at as one parameter being the metric to learn about a customer.
It's always a challenge, like like Sangeeta and Surekha mentioned. Yes, metrics are tricky. You don't have to depend on it as an absolute number, and base your whole assumption based on that.
Yeah.
But certain things that I look at, for example, like every probably not every day, but most importantly, I look at net addition every month. Right? How many customers that you get, minus the ones who churn. So that is important because you have to keep track on that at least monthly. That is the least, right? And the tech churn, customer churn, revenue churn, right? What's in it for your product or a service, for example. And there is one super metric, I believe, for example, is the NRR. It's net retention rate. So usually they tell if you are selling to enterprises, for example, always ensure that this NRR is more than 100%. And let's say if you're selling to small and medium businesses, ensure that this number is between 90 to 100%, but not below that. So we ensure that we stick to this percentage because if this goes wrong, you can go back and see where you're lacking. For example, is the account expansion not happening? Is upsell not working effectively? Right? Have they using only single user licenses for 5 years? Why not add 3 more user licenses, for example, or even getting another product? You might be selling 5 different products, right? Why can't you convince them to get another product? So this NRR, if you start calculating, you'll get an idea of the account expansion, churn, the MRR that you get every month. How has it been changing, for example? So all these things are there. Of course, some things are not measurable, like LTV. Yes, LTV is a number in most cases, but you don't know what this customer brings when they refer. That is not added to the LTV, right? So it's not an absolute number like what other things are there, but definitely have a look at these metrics because see, when you talk to the senior people in Zoho or anywhere, for example, they all observe the numbers. They are passionate about the numbers, but the one difference is that it's not the only thing that matters, right? So take it with a pinch of salt, see it, give the respect that it deserves, but you do what you want to do in terms of be more proactive in terms of product usage, helping them get the value out of your product. So I think that's where we stand right now.
I think a good balance is to have the numbers as well as a human element, and
exactly
that's I think the sweet spot. Not just numbers and not just the human element, but a good balance of both.
Without measuring the numbers, what if you don't
You
look at
wouldn't
the
know
numbers at all? Right? What if there is no someone to tell you that hey, this is going wrong? Take control of the situation, for example. So that
numbers
is very
keep you on track.
it's very much needed.
The numbers help you give an objective, proportion of okay, this is what is happening.
Exactly.
Whereas when you actually have conversation building with the customer, it gives you the subjective insight that I understand, where you're actually coming from.
Absolutely.
And numbers help you, you can talk with the product team, you can talk with the account management team. Because hey, the account management or sales folks, they are numbers folks. So we need this number, to sell our story like, sir, this is what, they're looking at and you're not getting it. And, for our conversations, it helps, oh, this is where I can actually, give value to my customer.
Exactly.
And even before, like looking at the end result, something like measuring the attendance of a customer. Like, are they not using the product for more than 30 days,
Yeah.
10 days, 15 days? Are you tracking those numbers, for example? That all matters. At Zoho, we have an in-house tool to track all these things. Predict the churn before it occurs.
Yeah.
So those kind of metrics will definitely help you take advantage of the channels, for example, right? So communicate the message and all those things. So that way, it's definitely helpful.
Yes. As I said, we should understand what retention means to our product. Like, to me, the base of any metrics is the product usage stats. So we need to carefully analyze the stats, because everyone who is signing up for a product are not our customers, are not really our long-term customers, maybe. Um, Most of the customers who subscribe to a product might have signed up for a short-term use, or they might have forgot to use the product totally. So we have to clearly analyze the product usage stats on top of everything, like net retention rate, or churn, or NPS. This is the base metrics, I would say. So the more the people use a product, the more they are into a product, they will become our loyal customers. So we have to stick to this product usage metrics every week. So we do that for Sales IQ. So I think, like, once they become a fan, or once they become using our product on a day-to-day basis, so they are not going to leave us. So the retention is directly proportionate to the usage stats. So we have to clearly focus on product usage stats.
In fact, I have to add one more point, on this
Yeah.
important question. One thing that we observed is, a good onboarding leads to longer, lifetime value.
True.
How longer they stay. If the onboarding is not done properly for a customer, definitely it will impact in your churn. So, focusing on this onboarding is very, very crucial as a thing that we need to focus on.
Also, you talked about the internal tool. I just want to say, Mix is going to be for the public. So we've been using Mix to
Yes.
track
Yeah,
the
I
behavior
think a
analysis.
lot of our teams
Yes.
use
Yeah,
Mix
we are doing.
for tracking, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just to give a context to the viewers, it's
Yeah.
MICS,
MICS.
which Zoho uses for its internal.
Internally.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of the session, and we wanted to have an open-ended question. So how is customer retention going to morph? Can AI be used in retention? So what businesses can do to prepare themselves to face what's ahead? Like, I don't want to point.
Yeah.
Like, we can all pitch in and have this.
When I first read that question, the first thing that came to my mind is all the AI chatbots that we utilize. So if you see how it actually goes, like I enter a query and the chatbot gives me predefined answers. So based on what we enter, the model keeps changing. So I feel the AI can help you with technical queries. So there are a lot of user guides, a lot of resources out there. So the AI will be able to pick, oh wait, this is the query that this customer needs. So AI will be able to give me those results. But when it comes to something like I need a custom pricing for my business. My business is unique. I don't think an AI will be able to understand the human nuances that talking with a sales executive or a customer support executive gives. While I can ask it when I ask the AI for queries or any of the support needs that I have, which is very product specific, or how do I find the page to a webinar? Probably the AI can help me. But when I ask it like I'm running a bakery in this particular location, whereas what are the tools that can help me, and or I need a custom pricing for this particular bakery in this particular location. So when it comes to customizing for that particular use case or for that particular business person, you will definitely need a human intelligence. So at the end, I'd like to say AI can give you the answers or technical queries, but when it comes to decision making, it will definitely lead to a human intervention coming into.
I'll just share. Sorry, please, Elsi, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, please.
So, okay, I would like to differ. Like, from the chatbot point of view, let me explain you how customers are adapting to AI. So in Sales IQ, we could see a clear change in the customer evolution. Like uh, before this AI launch, customers used to set up chatbots for their business, but it will not be very specific, or it will not be a fully operated chatbot. Like it will have all its errors and corrections. But after the AI launch, I could see like most of the customers are adapting to this chatbot trend. And I'm surprised to see like they started to build meaningful chatbots, even for generating a lead, or to convert the lead to a customer, and to support the same customer. Chatbots, they are using it in a full cycle. So this is not the case here. I would say like AI is actually revolutionizing the customer service industry. So we could clearly see that revolution. So
I'll take a perspective from a recent incident that happened, a support query. So this is one thing about AI that I love, the sentiment analysis part of it. Now, there was a egregious customer whose migration was supposed to happen, and generally, as a rule, we do it over Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so there's enough time, and so that the real time business does not get affected. So for some reason that didn't happen, and for some reason the communication didn't go out to him. So on a Monday morning, he assumed the migration was done, but there was some issue at the back end and we couldn't. So what has then happened is the response that has gone to him was a templated response. I think it was triggered from somewhere. Um, Now, he got really annoyed reading a templated and not a personalized response. Now, this is where actually I think Zia's sentiment analysis does a superb job. I think in the future it will do a very good job of making or writing, let's say, an email campaign or a personalized email to showcase that yes, what you are egregious about is a big thing. We are the ones who made the mistake of not informing you, and that angle for me is phenomenal, because not everyone has the same kind of language prowess to express themselves over an email. When you are in front of someone, you can express yourself with your body language and your expressions, but when you're writing, to express the emotion that you're feeling is hard. It doesn't come to everyone. I think AI there is going to do wonders. It's going to bring that gap closer. I'm not going to go ahead and say it's going to bridge that gap completely or fill it up. It's going to lessen the gap for sure. That's my perspective.
I mean, okay, let me get to the AI part later because everyone's talking about AI, like the whole world. Right? See, but even before that, you should understand, for example, are you utilizing all the channels that you have, to prevent cancellations from happening, for example, right? So, are you, sending a SMS or a WhatsApp notification to your customer informing them that, hey, your subscription is about to get, renewed. Make sure there's a card is accepted and all those things. So email is not the only platform for you to send those notifications. Think of WhatsApp, think of SMS. Work with other teams to ensure this is set. Give in product prompts, and that's where I think AI can come, because yes, there are tools that you need to look into. For example, all these different things, but AI can help in churn prevention, giving you better self-service, for example, because hey, if Netflix can give you good product recommendations like their movies, for example, why can't AI give your customers the right features that they need to use? Day one of sign up, have you used X and Y Z from the product? Are you okay with this? All those things, because this whole sentiment analysis, churn prediction, everything depends on people using the product first. So AI should can effectively help in better self-service, because my product Bigin as a small business CRM product, we depend a lot of self-service models. So because even cost-wise and all those things, self-service is one of the easier ways where you can run your business in a lean manner. So ensure you have enough self-service resources. Probably AI can help in that area. And like think of real world inspirations where even your customers can start using the product better. Of course, churn prediction, all those things are there. Like I mentioned before, if the customer is not using the product for 5 days, 10 days, or reaching out to them, or you're asking the right questions, and all those things are there. So I think AI and the future of customer retention is better self service, which will ultimately help in stopping the churn, at least to a considerable extent. And even going back and understanding, or you using the channels, what kind of cancellations happen. So like I mentioned before, sweating of the small stuff, right? So that really matters as marketers. So I think we all should look into that more. Yes, AI is a big word now, but focus on the basics, then make use of these tools to go forward. So that's my thought on the whole future of customer retention. Yeah.
I think we should pitch this to the mixed team because they have the usage history. So if they can integrate AI with this, they will be able to predict what are the features they are using and what they can
Definitely.
use.
I'm very sure, like at Zoho, we take AI very seriously. It's not just the Chat GPT era, but we have our own the LLM that we are building, and AI is embedded across all the products that we serve to our customers. So definitely, it's going to become a huge thing, even internally for our customers and everything.
For me, what I feel is, I handle customer experience. So for me, yes, AI can definitely, help you with the processes, the automation. But at some point of time, if your customer needs a human head or hand to talk to, we should give him that option rather than just rely on AI. AI definitely helps in the self-service, but at point of time, like with multiple products that we have, a lot of times our customers will not know exactly where to look at those self-service options. So that time when they really need a human intervention, it could be for anything. Like I said, I want a custom pricing, which I don't think an AI will be able to listen to me. Like going back to our the first discussion that we had, a lot of times customers just want to be heard, and only humans can hear.
Yeah, and a lot of times, I think it's a very important point for retention, especially. Customers don't tell you that they're going to churn. They churn silently, right? So it's important for you, either through human intervention or AI, to understand, whom has the highest possibility of churning in the near time. So I think, like Surekha mentioned, that area is very crucial, in understanding the customer needs, serving them in whatever way they need. For example,
that is by adding on, in any of our VR support chats, we'll also have talk to a human. So if anybody wants to still reach out, I think that.
I think you can't take that away, that human element.
Yes, we cannot avoid our customer support completely.
Yeah.
But the first level or the second level support can actually handle, and it can actually give the support team more time. And for small business owners, we should concentrate on them too. Like for small business owners, it is not practically possible for them to hire a support representative at work. So for them, chatbot is actually going to help them a lot. And chatbot on top of AI integrated, this is going to be really helpful. Even if they have a single person station to help the customers, but chatbot can actually take a lot of initial works for them. So it's totally important for a human and AI, but it can actually help us to balance the work.
I think it's the hybrid approach that we are all talking
about.
Yeah. So any more points?
Good.
Thank you for joining us. I had a great time. I hope you had as well. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pragdish, for setting
Thank you
this
for
up.
having us.
Thank you.